If you've seen my very first video, you're probably thinking, wow, that was terrible quality. And it was. But the subject, not so much. You see, my first video I ever posted was justifying the hyperspace ramming scene in The Last Jedi. You know, this. A lot of people have problems with this scene, like, oh, why didn't they use this like on the Death Star? How would this work? But it actually makes sense if you look at it in the right way. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. After I explain how this actually works, I'm going to look at why they didn't use this on the Death Star or, other super weapons or anything else. So let's get started. Okay, to understand the hyperspace ramming scene, we have to look at some other examples. And my first example is going to be Return of the Jedi, and it's probably not going to be the example you're looking for. So when I mention the example, please don't just leave the video. To get the end conclusion, please watch the whole thing. Anyways, the scene I'm thinking of is in Return of the Jedi when the A-Wing runs into the Executor's bridge, or crashes, I should say. And, well, yeah, we all know how that ended. Now, you're probably saying the A-Wing hit the bridge, not the wing, like how the Raddus hit the Supremacy, and you're right, but I'm not done. Imagine if the A-Wing crashed into the side of the Executor. Guess what would happen? You guessed it, not much. But now replace that A-Wing with something the size of, say the Home 1. Well, we all know what happens when two capital ships collide at sublight speeds.
Combat 5, locked on target. Prepare for impact.
So, if one of those ships hits the other ship going at light speed, you get this. But I'm not done. Thanks to The Last Jedi novelization, we learned that it wasn't the ship that did the most damage, but the experimental shields. You see, the Raddus had experimental shields that could be projected farther out from its hold than most ships, so it could protect other ships. And once the Raddus hit the Supremacy, the ship blew up and basically stopped. It was the shields that kept on going, ripping through the fleet. So without those experimental shields, you would have gotten this without this. Wait, I'm not done. A lot of fans still have a lot of problems with this scene, like, why didn't they use it on the Death Star? Well, why don't we go back to the good old times of the Rebels and look at this scenario? Well, first of all, once the Death Star was destroyed, the Empire's not just gonna fall. They're still gonna have a lot of fighting to do. So they're going to need every ship they can use. And let's be honest, a starfighter is much easier to replace than a capital ship. So why waste a capital ship when a snub fighter could do it just as easily? And there's always the risk of the Death Star firing and hitting the capital ship before it managed to enter hyperspace. So you see here, that really doesn't make sense, but the Rebels are the underdogs. What about the more superior forces, like the Republic or the Empire? Well, let's just say both sides have capital ships that they use for hyperspace ramming. You see, these capital ships are not cheap. Trading a ship for a ship is not gonna turn out well. You see, these capital ships are really expensive. Trading a capital ship for a capital ship is not going to turn out good. Before you know it, both sides are going to be bankrupt. Now, trading something like a Venator for, say, the Malevolence, now that does sound like a better deal, but still, Venators are really expensive. And again, trading a ship from a ship, well, guess what? You're losing as many ships as you're taking out. It just doesn't work well. The only scenario where this works is in the Resistance's scenario. I mean, the Raddus is already gonna get destroyed. And Holdo wasn't planning on ripping through the fleet. She was only planning on distracting them. When Poe Dameron did his little mutiny, he put in hyperspace coordinates that were still in the computer. Holdo didn't know she would have ripped through the whole First Order fleet. Did you have problems with the scene, or did you thought it was an okay scene? Let me know down in the comments below. Okay, but one more thing before we end this video. This is completely off topic, but lately my thumbnails have been a mishmash of whatever. Now my thumbnails will always have my logo on the top right-hand corner so you can know it's my video at a glance. Anyways, if you liked the video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe with notifications on. Until next time, may the Force be with you. Always.